Welcome to the art of creative learning.
Go ahead and open up After Effects and click on New Project. From here, you need to locate the working project files. If you don't have those, a link will be in the description below, but you want to find the before and the after images. Select both of them and drag them over to the project panel in After Effects. Now, there are two ways that you can open a new composition. And basically, a composition is just like a grouping of items within After Effects. So you can do like multiple scenes, and not to get too in depth with anything on this tutorial. However, for what we're going to do, we need the composition to be exactly the same size as the image. So instead of clicking on the Create a New Composition icon, the way we're going to do it is grab the After file and drag it down to the timeline, and it will automatically create a composition named after the file in the exact same dimensions as the file. Once you've done that, grab the before image and drag that so that it's sitting right on top of the after. The next thing we want to do is create a layer mask. So make sure you have the before image selected, and then come up to the top and click on the rectangle tool. And you'll actually see a little rectangle with a circle, and that's to let you know it's a mask and not a shape because you have the image selected. So we want to draw out our mask, and once we've got it drawn out, we're just tracing around the complete layer there. We're going to hit inverted, and you'll see it disappear because what we actually want is this to be the finished image on our timeline. Next, go ahead and zoom all the way in by clicking the scroll bar down here at the bottom all the way to the right, dragging it over. You'll actually see the timing layer measurement change, and it'll have little F's. That stands for frame. And what we're going to be exporting is 1 image per frame. So we're just going to hop over here and drag the playhead to 20 and come back over to the layer mask and hit the drop down menu next to the layer mask and turn on the mask path, little stopwatch next to the mask path. And what you'll see is it'll all of a sudden create a keyframe, this little diamond symbol here, where we've pulled the playhead to. This is where we want the last frame to end. So I'm going to pull the playhead back to frame 0 or at the beginning. And there are two ways that you can move this layer mask. The first thing we have to do is click the selector tool. And then if you wanted to move it, you could click on the layer mask and then grab it and move it around, and you can see how it'll mask out just that section. I'm going to undo that. But the easiest way that we're going to do it is hit Shift and it will help you keep a straight line when you drag it off, or you can use your arrows. We're just going to line up the edge with the edge of the image. And if you've noticed, it has added a keyframe down here at the bottom at the 0 frame. Now, if we hit the space bar, it will play this animation. And you can see it just kind of created a wipe and revealed the after image underneath it. But it will continue to play for the length of the composition. And we don't want it to do that because then we'll get a bunch of extra images on our sequence. So pull the little slider all the way to the end and then grab your work area end tool, this little block here, and drag that all the way back to the beginning. And I'm going to mark it 1 frame after where we put our keyframe. So we're moving it to 21. Now, if you move the playhead back to 0, it should loop and end after frame 21, which is exactly what we want it to do. Next, go up to File, Export, Add to Media, Encoder. It'll take a few minutes for this to load. There we go. All right. Sometimes it can take a minute or two for it to actually show up in the Media Encoder. Once Media Encoder opens, just give it a moment and eventually it should populate here. Once it populates here, you want to make sure that you select PNG as the format. You can choose sequence with alpha or regular. I'm just going to leave it alpha, even though we don't have any transparent spots. And then you want to make sure you select a folder that you'll know how to navigate to grab all these images. In the working files that were provided for you, you'll see there's a folder marked sequential images that has all of the exported images already from this. But let's go ahead for this tutorial and we'll create a new folder and we'll call it sequential images 2. We're going to go into that folder and then hit save. Now come back up to the top here and click on the green play button and it will take a few moments and export all of those images out. Let's go ahead and double check that. We're going to open up our Explorer here. So this is the one that I provided for you. This is the one that we just created. And you can see all the images are in here from 0 to 20. You have now successfully exported your PNG sequence out of After Effects.
The art of creative learning, your e-learning lifeline.